Hey everybody, William here, and today we're talking with Jake, but way more important than that, my Venmo is at MNBIGGWILL, because I need to buy pho, and Jake's dad invented Gushers. For like the first 40 minutes, it's super duper fun, and then in the last like 20-30 minutes, we get into some serious like mindset stuff, so it's a roller coaster. It's almost gushing stuff. This is a long intro. Thanks for watching. William here, and
Sarah,
and
Jake Luehrs.
Boom! There we go. All right. We're still at take 1.1. We're 4.5 minutes into recording. We had to go ahead and move some camera stuff around, but we are excited to be here with Jake. Jake, how you doing today?
I'm great. I'm excited. Thanks for asking me to be on this.
Absolutely. So we're gonna get what you do out of the way because we don't really care about what you do here. So you are owner, correct?
Why didn't you let Jake tell us?
Hold on. I want to see if I can get this right.
Oh, okay.
See how well I've been doing my job of sharing what I do or who I am.
Yeah. See, you're the owner of, is it 3 or 4 market centers?
5. It's 5.
5. See, okay, this is why you're here. 5 market centers that you just recently purchased within the last year or so, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Before that, you were the OP, the operating principal of them?
That's what I am now. I was the general manager before.
Okay, so that's how that works in the KW world.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. As you know,
You're trying to describe a flow chart that we do not understand.
But the reason I bring
you get it though. It's a general.
I get it. Yeah.
It's all the same. It's just different terms.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a licensed real estate agent as well in Minnesota.
Correct.
Do you currently sell anymore, or are you just?
I am not in sales.
Not in production.
No. I
Cool.
sold for about 11 years, and then I moved into leadership and focused more of the energy on that. Yep.
Awesome. All right. So there you go. If you're a KW person and you've never met Jake, you should. And if you're not a KW person, you've never met Jake, you should, because he's amazing. All right, we're done talking about real estate. Let's do this. Let's go back to the year whenever you were born.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
we're going way back.
Is this a pseudotherapy session? Is it
Sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, yes. Tell me about your mother.
We didn't bring Kleenex. Oh, I do have Kleenex in.
Yeah. If I'm crying, this turns a major corner.
No, tell us where were you born? Tell us what your parents like. Seriously, go back to the beginning, like your first memory, and all that good stuff.
Cool. I was born in essentially the Twin Cities. Grew up in Rogers, still live in Rogers.
World traveler here.
I got around. I went to college down in Mankato.
Okay.
Just your standard.
Fighting Mavericks. Well, hold on.
Didn't know what I wanted to do.
Whoa. Are you kidding me? Dude, you just went from being born to college? There's like 18 years you just skipped.
You gotta ask my wife. My memory is garbage.
That's okay.
When did you meet your wife?
In the hospital?
No.
When you were born?
That'd be awkward.
No. Okay, stop. Seriously.
And they wheeled us up together.
Let's start over. Let's see.
Yeah, so
how early can I go?
Where were you born? What hospital? Do you remember?
I was in Robbinsdale, which would be HCC?
North.
Yeah, North Memorial.
Yeah,
very close to us.
Yep.
All right.
We were neighbors.
Yeah.
Not really at that time.
No, not at that time. We weren't. So you were born in North Memorial there, and you folks were living in Rogers at the time, so that's where you moved to as well.
Correct.
Like you went with them.
Yep. They took me home.
Yeah, they took you home. That's good.
Thankfully.
I guess we'll keep them.
Yeah. So are you the oldest, the youngest, any siblings?
So I have 3 siblings. I am the second oldest.
Get out. Really?
I have an older brother that's 3 years older than me, a younger brother that's 3 years younger, and then a younger sister that's 6 years younger.
So there's 4 of you.
Did I say? I have 3 siblings. There's 4
You said
of
it
us.
right.
Yeah.
Words matter that I listen to.
Welcome, Will.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're the second oldest?
Second oldest.
Second oldest. Okay, so what are your siblings' names, and are they still around, or where are they at?
We all live pretty close. Like
okay.
We're all pretty tight knit.
So is there a clan up there? Like you guys are just like...
Oh, yeah. You don't...
Yeah.
If you come into
Luehrs
Rogers,
Lodge.
we know about it.
Like, sir, may I please enter your town? If you're entering my town, you have to ask permission.
No, my older brother and younger brother. So my older brother is Casey. My younger brother is Connor. They're both in HVAC.
Okay.
So they've both been in it since out of high
Do
school.
they work for somebody or they have their own company?
My older brother works for Heating and Cooling 2, which is just off of 81, and my
Mm-hmm.
younger brother has recently purchased Golden Valley Heating and Plumbing.
Oh, really? Okay.
So
That's awesome. We
Yeah.
see them guys all the time because we're in Golden Valley.
Yep. So, and then my younger sister is Jessica, and she does she's got kids, and she takes care of all of that stuff.
She's probably the busiest one of the bunch.
I would imagine she's
Yeah.
probably driving more than anybody else.
So your parents went with C's and J's.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. Was that planned, do you think?
Not based on any conversations that we've had.
Okay.
No.
So awesome. So you're born, you're up in Rogers, and like, what type of a kid are you? Let's look like kindergarten, first grade. Like, are you kind of like a shithead? Are you a good kid? Like mama's boy?
Again, I can't speak. My memory is, a memory
He's
I
blocked
do
that
have
out.
of kindergarten is, what's it called? Ants on a log?
Yeah,
Yes. With
celery.
celery.
I don't know why that's a memory, but celery with peanut butter and raisins. I remember eating that in kindergarten.
See?
You ask another memory of kindergarten, I couldn't tell you.
Not yet.
you-
For
They're
whatever
going to
reason,
start
that sticks
flowing.
out.
They
here.
will. They will.
We're just unlocking.
Oh, is this what we're
This
doing?
is
Or
what we're
just
doing.
slow? It's like a momentum
We
thing,
had
or is-
somebody able to fight to sing their like middle school fight song.
And they're like, where did that
They're
come
like,
from?
I haven't thought of that in
Really?
30 years. And there they are just singing, rah, 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 rah.
I know you guys are agents, but you're also therapists, so I understand what you're doing.
Some days I think I actually should go back for more schooling.
This is your schooling. You don't
Yeah.
need more schooling once you become a real estate
Like-
agent.
We get it all.
Yeah.
We get it all.
Fantastic. Okay, so you're young, you're in school, like what are you in school? Like tell me about that and like do you enjoy it?
School was fine. It wasn't exactly. This sounds off, but it wasn't exactly challenging.
Yeah.
But I liked the social component of it. I played basketball and baseball into high school, essentially.
So when did you start playing basketball in high school? 'Cause that's
as
what
early
yeah.
as early as I can remember.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So all of us were in sports at some capacity. So the parents were just running us.
Your
around
mom was
everywhere.
driving and dad was driving.
all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, all the time.
Now, what did your parents do?
They both worked at General Mills.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Fun fact: if you go look at the, well, I'm drawing a blank on when you create a new product, like you
Yep.
register it.
Oh yeah, the patent office.
The patent.
Yeah.
My dad actually, if you've ever had Gushers,
Really?
No.
you can partially thank him. For
No.
No kidding.
Get out.
We could never have Gushers growing up. So
That
when
is
I got them,
Oh, they're just. Well, we had them all the time because they both worked at General Mills.
were they sampling? Like, ooh, maybe we should try
Oh,
this. Kids, what do you
I
think?
remember he brought home like a 50-pound bag of defective Gushers
What?
for my uncle that lived up north that would bear hunt.
Oh,
So it
for
was bear bait.
Yes.
So he'd just bring this big. So we just grabbed some before they went up north.
And what did your mom do?
She
Hold on. No.
is-
Stop.
I have.
Stop. Stop.
I never would have thought Gushers.
Gusher-
Jake
this
Luehrs
is-
Gushers.
This is. We know somebody. You might know Matt Wenzel.
I know the name.
Yeah. He actually has a piece of his college in like the Smithsonian.
a piece of his college. What?
Like he did a
Art. Wasn't it art?
No, he did the recordings he did.
Oh, that's
on
right.
the Native American, but that might be cooler. The Gushers. I know somebody who has stuff in the Smithsonian.
I was gonna say that's probably more meaningful,
but your old man helped create Gushers.
How did he get that idea?
I actually have questions to ask that I haven't asked him.
You know, you can use this podcast studio and invite him in.
Yes.
I
have a
Or
mobile.
we can ask
would
him.
kill me.
We can ask
I have a
him.
mobile version. I can bring this to him.
We'll go straight up 94.
I'll tell you what. He is a guy that loves being by himself. He enjoys that, and to put him on a podcast would be really interesting.
Okay, does he drink whiskey or beer or anything?
He drinks beer. Yeah.
I will bring it.
I
I'll
love
bring
it
a-
how you describe your dad as being someone who likes to be by himself, but he had 4 kids and a wife.
Yeah, and created Gushers. Let's not forget.
We change. Things can change. That's what we evolve as humans.
He's
right?
like, well, I sugared everybody up, and now I'm...
Yeah, that's incredible. Okay, Gushers. That really is super cool.
You guys probably want to shut this down. Like, we got what we need.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
wow, we're only 14 minutes in, and
the first
4
four,
minutes.
and the first 4.5
didn't count.
really sucked.
Okay, so now can I ask? So your dad was doing the gusher creation,
Worked on the fruit snacks,
like product
Jefferson
development.
Mills, yeah.
Fruit snack department, all of that stuff. Yep. And then my mom was more on the administrative side. Just she held different roles.
Okay, we're in like elementary school, middle school. Like,
wait a minute, I have a question.
Yeah.
When did gushers happen in your lifetime?
Yeah. Oh, good.
Were you
good
in
question.
middle school?
No, it was younger than middle school. I would say it was
the coolest kid
third or fourth grade.
Wow. So
So here's the thing: third or fourth grade, you don't even realize how special it is.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
to have
That's
a
why I'm so
gusher?
excited.
Just,
Well,
I mean, it's what you consider to be normal.
yeah, 50 pounds of gushers just hanging out.
Well, not that much, but just they were always there.
So did he do fruit roll-ups?
Well, I don't know, like in the inventing side, I don't
Yeah.
know, but fruit roll-ups, fruit by the foot,
All the things.
shark bites, like you
Yeah.
name them, we had them.
Wow.
Wow. Do you have diabetes?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
But it is also one of those things when something is so readily available all the
Yeah.
time.
It
it's like
loses
it's not
yeah.
as special as. So when people look at me now, I can go back and buy them now, and they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
But there was a period in time where it was like,
I don't need them anymore.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's awesome. Okay. So what's your next question, Will? Top that.
No, I can't. So tell me about like middle school. Like, what's going on in your life in middle school?
Again,
Are you still living in the same house? Have you guys moved?
my parents got divorced when I was in fourth grade, and that was a process to work through at that age. You just don't know. I remember fourth grade explicitly knowing that I'm the only one. Nobody knows how this feels, and you just don't say anything to anybody. And that was a tough. So that was hard into middle school. I had some challenges with just depression and stuff like that, not based on that, but just it's part of the family.
Okay.
So it's just this. It's kind of working through things and being social and still trying to figure out.
So how did you figure that? And if you don't want to talk about that, it's fine. But how did you figure that out? Like,
I can't say it's ever been figured out. What I can say is I've learned to work through it differently. I actually think everybody goes through periods of that at some point in time in their life, whether it's chemical imbalances or if it's just life, like
trauma.
I think it just happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the biggest thing that I've learned is rather than resisting it, just let it work itself through. The more I push it away, the more intense it got. So it was, and I didn't know that at that age, particularly 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah.
But once you get older and you continue to work yourself through it, you realize that trying to push it away is actually the exact opposite thing that worked for me.
Yeah.
I had talked to people and done counseling and was on medication, and none of it really. I labeled it as anxiety, but the reality is it was more depression.
Depression.
Yeah.
Right on.
So.
All right. So we're playing basketball. We're playing baseball. You said, right?
Yep.
So we're playing sports. So are we a jock? Are we a nerd? Are we just like the what type of kid are we?
I'm not a jock. I'm not a nerd. I'm just kind of. My thing was, you could just be friends with everybody. I don't have to be better than anybody now. I didn't always treat everybody perfectly, and I look back and I was like, yeah, I could have done something different there. But the reality is, I just welcome people in. So I wasn't all in like I'm going to the NBA or the Major League Baseball league, but it was something that I found social structures around, and it was fun to just to compete. I was on the B team for basketball, so it wasn't great. I did make varsity in high school only because I was left-handed.
So were you a point guard?
More of a shooting guard.
Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't grow I had the highest voice until about 11th grade. So I'm the pinball down if I'm trying to get a rebound. I'm the pinball just getting knocked from one guy to the next.
Just getting crushed.
So I always had this little bit of fear of like, I'm not going in the lane because I'm just going to get hammered on and somebody's elbow is going to knock right on top of my head. So.
Yeah, but back then if you had a concussion, just shake it off and get back in there.
They let you run down the court sideways. Yeah. It was fine.
It's just a stinger.
That's normal for him. He's fine.
He'll be back straight tomorrow.
If he's running straight, we got a real problem, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Then we're worried.
Yeah. Okay, so what about your siblings? Did you play any sports with them? Because 3 years apart.
Not with them.
Okay.
No, it was always.
It's like
just
they timed
enough
it perfectly,
They
where
really
no
did.
one was in school together.
The cadence was very, very clear.
Well, you could be freshman and senior.
Well, when I was growing up, though, freshman was in a different school. So junior high was 7th through 9th.
Yep.
And high school was 10th through 12.
Like-
So we were always in a different school.
We were always in a different school. Like John would graduate, Andrew would go in.
Yep.
Like,
It was very similar, yeah.
Riveting.
what was your mascot at Rogers High?
Well, Rogers, I don't remember. Elk River.
Oh, you went to Elk River.
So
Elks.
elementary, the Elks. Elementary at that time was just in Rogers. The junior high and senior high were both in Elk River
Okay.
at that time. So there wasn't any of that in Rogers.
We sponsored
This segment brought to you by Uptime.
Oh, nailed it.
We sponsored the Elk River High
Senior
School
night. Baseball senior night.
baseball last year.
Great.
And our game that we sponsored was senior night, and I got to throw the first pitch.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It was really cool.
It was a blast.
What was it, a strike?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, she made it all the way across the plate.
They
for
actually
sure.
were
Love that.
surprised.
Yeah.
That's
The guy
not
was
right.
like,
Yeah. He was like,
Wow.
oh, good throw.
"You actually could throw."
I was
And I'm
actually
like,
surprised, too, because
You wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it because I'm like, this is good. I haven't. My right shoulder's jacked. I haven't thrown a baseball.
It's my right shoulder.
No.
I was gonna say,
And-
Will doesn't say no to very many things.
No.
Oh, my shoulder.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Rude.
You could have moved up a couple notches
Oh
and
yeah.
gone
That would have
underhand.
been.
Crowd would have cheered.
I would have made it on ESPN. Look at this guy.
Look at this web gem.
Yeah.
Big man can't
yeah.
throw.
Oh, good lord. Well, thanks for that.
I did it for both of us.
You did. You did a
And we're going to
fantastic
sponsor
job.
again the Elk River Elks.
Yeah, the senior night.
Yeah,
It's super
the
fun.
stuff we can do for schools is
Yeah.
They can use all the help they can get.
Yeah, yeah. We don't have enough time to even start talking about that.
Right.
Former teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, you are? I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
What grade? And what did
I taught for 6 years in Eden Prairie, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade.
Really?
Yep. Got my master's degree,
You are
decided
an angel.
that this was not for
we,
me.
Yes.
we just had conferences
Yes.
last night, and my daughter's 3 years old, and the stories that teacher has is, or my daughter's in, what did I say?
3rd grade?
3rd grade, 8 years old. I say 3 years old. But
She's a very smart 3-year-old.
yeah, the stories he has is
All
is
I can
pretty
say is
phenomenal.
every parent should either do like a Valentine's Day party or go on a field trip or do some of that crazy stuff. And then they leave exhausted. And I'm like, yes, we do this every day.
Yeah.
But that's also why I only
hustling.
did it for 6 years. My friends
I
still
give
teach.
you a ton of credit.
Well-
Because my wife volunteers and goes
Yeah.
into the classroom and helps teach. And she's
I
like,
can't
I can only
imagine
handle.
the last
there-
2 years.
There's an expiration date on the time she spends.
Yeah.
And there's an expiration date on how long I'm going to let this conversation go without
Aw.
bringing it back.
Oh, okay, lead us, Will.
Bring it back. All right. So we're we're in high school. What's our favorite class?
10th grade, I can say it was algebra because it came very natural to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Smarty McSmarty
But
pants.
as soon as it got into geography,
I hated.
awful. It's one of those lessons where you're like, this is too hard. I don't want to do this. But now I look at it differently.
Yeah,
Back then,
I-
it's like I didn't want to put the
I
effort
think
in.
I think I got through as little math as I could, just because I didn't have the patience for it.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because you're actually really good at math.
See, going back, like you said, we were. If I had the prowess, whatever. If I had the smarts or the patience or the self-aware that I had now back then, man,
You'd be a different human.
I'd have like maybe $5 more. I don't know if I'd have done anything different. And then, but what about the other years? Like, did you choir or anything like that, or?
No, I was not. I wouldn't say I was the creative type. That
Really?
stuff
Okay.
didn't really do much for me. It was the social component.
So, were you a captain on any of your teams?
Nope.
Just a normal dude.
I fly below the radar, but I got along with most people, and
It's so
had-
interesting hearing someone's like background, because now like where you are today, and don't worry, Will, I'm not speeding up the story.
Well, you just did where you are today. Literally today is a lot sooner than high school.
But it's just it's like, okay, where did all this growth and development like occur? And granted, I'm sure we'll get to that, but it's like to hear some of that and be like, yeah, I was just kind of there and then here. But see, I'm the same way. Like if you ask me about my high school experience, I wasn't a nerd. I wasn't popular. I was just kind of there.
Yep.
I was cut from choir. I wasn't in any sports.
I was a nerd.
Like, how did I even survive?
Fist fights.
Yeah, no.
Well, it just proves the point that you don't have to be anything in particular
No.
to be anybody. Like,
Yeah.
if you got to label yourself as popular or as something, that I think there's a challenge. Like you can be a lot of different things.
A lot of different things.
Just don't be an asshole.
Just don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, or too much of one. Like,
That takes more energy anyway.
I don't. Yeah.
Oh, he's got a different take.
Yeah.
On
I was an asshole in high school.
For me, it takes more energy to be an asshole.
Yeah. For me, it's actually harder to not just like.
Like to rein it in?
Snap on. Yeah, I have to rein it in a lot.
You got to rein it in.
I work on it daily.
I know you do.
It's a skill we all need.
Yeah.
We need to filter and know when to go and when not.
Just
to.
imagine if Will
STFU. Like,
didn't.
that's this guy. I need to STFU.
What if you didn't work on it? Because people probably think you are very unfiltered.
This is not. This is very filtered.
If you didn't filter, you would have a different life.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that prison thing you were talking about. Yeah.
Well, you might excel in that one,
Yeah.
in that environment.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of where you place yourself.
Yeah, Sarah yells at me all the time because I curse way too much, but this is not about me. This is
Okay.
about you. Moving on. So we're in high school. We graduate. We're like, yay! And then now we're gonna go be a Maverick down at MSU.
The only reason I went down there is because I had a friend down there, and we had gone down there a couple times to
Party.
parties.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
I mean, if you go to Mankato, you're typically partying.
Well,
Well,
and
any
that was
school
kind
in
of it.
Minnesota,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I went down there not knowing. There was some friends that went down there, so I just went down there and.
What were you going for? Like, what was your degree?
At the
going to be in?
beginning, I didn't know any. I knew I was going to be in business at some capacity. I just didn't know what it looked like.
So did you know that like in high school you wanted to be in business, or when did like that happen?
It was a subconscious thing more than it was a conscious thing.
Okay.
But I had in high school I was always doing landscaping. I worked at a concrete company, so I was cinder blocks and all that heavy work, and I was like, there's no way in hell I can do this for a long time. My body is just not built for this.
Picking up what you're putting down there. So what was your first job then ever?
First job was Dairy Queen.
The DQ.
Oh.
You got to get the swirl. You don't
Yeah.
mess that up.
So
People are disappointed if
Yes.
you don't do that on the cone.
Could you dunk it in the chocolate and?
Oh, yeah.
You could. That's so impressive.
It's not like I didn't. It's not like I did anything. It's how they make the soft serve. Is that how you can?
Oh,
do it?
You
Well,
know
yeah.
what Dairy Queen needs to do? For those of us that never got to work there, have work at Dairy Queen for a day experience, where you go in and you learn how to make the cone.
You
You
would
already,
pay
you already
to
have
do that.
that. You already got it.
I would pay, but I don't want to work there.
No,
I
you
just want
don't.
Sarah just wants to make you. You are the.
Just the one
We
day
need to-
experience.
If doesn't Matthew and Anastasia's parents own a Dairy Queen?
I should ask him.
We should ask them. We should be like, hey, can we go work
One
for a
day.
day?
Free labor.
Yeah.
Undercover.
Like I said, Sarah would literally pay to do this.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's like the Children's Museum for adults.
I'm pretty sure you could find that if you really wanted to. I think she.
I just want to make my own blizzard.
Was it a brazier, or was it like a Dairy Queen brazier, or did it serve the food, or was it just ice cream?
Oh, it was food and
Okay.
and
Oh, so it was a grill and chill.
yeah, it was open year round.
Okay.
That's what it's called, babe. A grill and chill.
Well, no, Jesse Link worked at a brazier where I think it closed half the year and it was only ice cream.
So that's just a chill.
Well, that was the one up in Rogers, which now is right where the subway is.
Okay.
Like, everything's been torn down. and
What was your
rebuilt.
favorite item when you worked at Dairy Queen?
To eat?
Yeah.
I think it was the blue raspberry freeze.
Really?
So it was the
slushie?
the slushie with the ice cream in it.
What?
Yeah, you mix them together.
That's a thing?
Yeah, well, it was when I was there. I don't know if it still is.
Okay, and now today, if you were to go to Dairy Queen, what would you order?
Have you ever heard of
Yes.
that? You have? Oh, okay. I apologize for my outburst.
That's a good question. I don't have like this
Really?
major preference. No.
I would get a Blizzard.
Of course you would. Get a cookie dough one.
Yep, usually cookie dough.
Yeah.
It would probably be a Blizzard, but I was thinking like, what would I add into it if I had a choice? And there's nothing that really.
It just kind of what strikes you.
The first thing that comes to mind is the Score bar.
Oh, okay.
Really?
The
The
taffy,
Heath bar.
Yep.
Like the Heath bar.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the first thing
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
You
Like-
never order that.
Yeah, I do. I'll get the Heath cookie dough and Oreo.
You blend a lot of things
I get
together.
the cookies.
Oh,
yeah.
you kind of do like the.
He goes rogue.
The universal.
Yeah, I do the Heath, the cookie dough, and the Oreo.
All in one.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you're getting. That's actually.
It's so good.
See, it's one thing to go into it knowing what you're expecting. It's another thing to say there's 3 options.
Yeah.
And I love all
I
of
can
them.
get I can get a chunk of cookie dough, or I can get Heath. If you get cookie dough and Heath at the same time,
Guess where we're going?
I was just gonna say, I'm gonna have a hard time going into a Dairy Queen and not thinking about that.
this one's brought to you by Dairy Queen. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're welcome, Dairy Queen.
Yeah. When do we decide, if at all, that we're going to take that seriously? What are we doing for work? Like, what's our life looking like then?
I knew I was gonna get through. I knew I was gonna get a degree. The first easy one was marketing because it kind of covers everything. But that degree doesn't really cover marketing. It just covers business. So this idea of a degree in marketing is a really interesting, it includes accounting, it includes, business planning, it includes obviously marketing, but it wasn't just marketing.
Okay.
And then I had a
what year is this for reference?
So graduated high school in 98, so 98 to 2002.
Oh, we're the same age, 42-ish.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm 43 now, so.
Okay. Old guy.
I turned 43 in May.
Once you hit 43, everything changes.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Will turns 43 in August.
Yeah. August 11th. Feel free to send me something.
Send me the podcast so I remember that August 11th.
Yeah.
I'm going to send some.
We'll just text Bethany and be like, hey, put this on Jake's
exactly.
calendar.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I've only been working with her closely. She worked with Jen, who you guys know, but since January 1st, and it's changed my evenings.
Very cool. Leverage
AKA it has changed your life.
It
Yeah.
has changed my life.
Yeah.
Just like not only what's on my mind, but what has to get done and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Just the small communications that she's got a handle on that cause me, the details are a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going for marketing. That's just kind of all encompassing. So do we double major? Like, what are we doing?
No, I got a minor in international business. At that time, I was thinking I could travel the world and do all that stuff. I don't really care to do that. Honestly, I'm kind of boring in that way.
Well, I mean, you live in the same town you grew up in.
3 houses down from where I grew up.
And there we go.
But here's the thing. That was a design by me. So the guy that sold it to us was there when I was young. And when I went to college, I said, if you ever want to sell, because it's a completely treed lot.
Yeah.
It's all the privacy you could ask for. And it's 3 houses down. So in my mind, I was like, okay, tell me when you're going to sell. I'll buy it. And then my kids can literally bike down to Grandpa's.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty genius.
That's going to be a memory for them that very few kids will have.
Yep.
All right. So when we're through college, we're partying, having a good time.
You keep going back to this partying
Well,
thing.
because it's just it's college. It's fighting Mavericks. And you're and now we graduate.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get arrested in college? Did you ever have to run from the cops?
Well, yeah, we had to run from the cops.
Okay, see,
periodically.
yeah, that does happen.
Is this? No, I'm just kidding.
I was questioned once by the cops. Well, I don't know why, but we broke into the bowling alley.
Oh,
You don't know why.
Yeah.
But you broke into the bowling alley.
Well, someone worked there, had a key, and so we went in at 3 a.m. and bowled.
Oh.
yeah.
I mean, I don't think the owner really liked that.
Didn't you also take a shopping cart once?
And I also drove a yellow Cadillac, so I didn't
In a
really
very,
blend
very,
in.
very small town.
So
you stood
Sarah, the yellow Cadillac was at the bowling alley.
Oh, yeah. You're guilty by association,
I'm like,
even
yeah,
if you didn't drive
I
it.
went in. I just tell the truth.
And they're like, well, this is refreshing. I don't have to ask more than one question.
I did it. I left $2 on the counter for the rental and a game of bowling.
I'm like, yeah, I was there.
Yeah, we paid.
Yeah.
Fine.
Left a 20 on the counter. We even swept up afterwards. And then didn't you take a shopping cart?
But even when I've been pulled over, by the police, when I've been
You're not
speeding.
answering my question about the shopping cart.
Oh yeah. Yeah, once I learned that because I took one of those mini shopping carts.
Yeah.
This was not a good idea in a small town. We took one of those mini shopping carts, and then one of our friends worked at the grocery store and was like, "Hey, they're checking they're checking the tape to see who did it." And I'm like, "Oh Lord!" So I had to bring the shopping cart back. Yeah, I took it.
Again, no denial.
Yeah, just admitted it.
Just what it is.
Yeah.
Even when I've been pulled over speeding, like, yes, I was speeding. I was listening to a really good song.
Just jamming out.
Sometimes you're not paying attention.
And you're right. I should not be speeding. Just slow down. Here's a verbal warning.
There you go.
Deny.
No.
This guy right
Kids,
here.
honesty
No.
is the best policy,
It is.
kids.
No, it's
If you-
not.
if you do
not.
something,
that
just-
is some bullshit. Honesty is not the best policy. Be
no,
very careful.
I disagree with you, Will.
Yeah.
They're going to find out eventually,
Yeah.
one way or another.
Lie all the time.
Maybe it's...
Please show this to your children.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're so of course we screwing around, no big deal, but didn't do anything crazy or nothing like that. And
Have you met your wife at this point?
So I met her. The interesting thing, so we met the very first class that I had. So she grew up in Mankato.
Wait, so you were that person who met their significant other like freshman year, first class?
Well, we did, and then after that, we joke. I knew I was in a much different position, maturity-wise, than she was. It wasn't going to work. Meaning, she was much more mature
I was like,
than I was,
yeah.
and I was doing stuff that she wouldn't have wanted to partake in.
Never in a million years would we have even no.
Will and I needed to meet at 33.
Yeah, maybe 33 and a half.
Things
but-
happen the way they're supposed to, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So we met that first class, and we both, we both recognized each other and thought,
Hey.
that'd be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to go on a date? No, never asked, but we didn't see each other up until about a week before I moved back up here.
Oh.
So
Like freshman year or senior year?
after I graduated.
Oh wow.
So we started dating a week before I moved back.
Oh, you're like, we can make this work long distance?
Yeah.
Well, it obviously worked. I
And
don't
we
know why I
did.
was being
Yeah.
sarcastic
Yeah,
with that.
I was
But
just
yeah.
gonna say, where you going with this
yeah.
one?
And how many years have you been married?
It's been 15 now.
Wow.
I think it's 15. It was 15. Yeah, 15 last fall.
That's awesome.
So we've been together since
Ever since.
since 22, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you moved back, you graduated, you have this degree in marketing and the other degree in what? World
International studies.
business.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What do you
Which
do
is
when you
also
get back?
interesting because like we all graduated the same year.
Mm-hmm.
Like our senior year, we had 9/11, like
Oh,
Yeah.
2001, yeah.
2001.
Yeah.
Because if you graduated in 2002, so it was like that was the start of our senior year.
Oh, don't put me in this graduating
I
college
wasn't.
thing.
I wasn't.
Like, no. Be very...
We.
Yes.
We.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be very careful when trying to bring me into that conversation. No.
No, I actually came back because a close friend of mine who I did go to college with down in Mankato ran a big real estate team up in Elk River. So
at this point, you had like no interest in real estate, but you're just like,
well, I came up on the weekends when I was a year before I graduated because I got to know a broker and he actually taught some classes at the college.
oh, okay.
And so he's like, you should go get your license. You can work with me. So, all right.
And you did.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
I
2001,
drove up to-
2002.
You guys remember ProSource?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I drove up on the weekends. I'd come up Friday, go to class all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and drive back down to college.
I mean, the best time ever to get into
That's
real estate is
actually
in
like a
2002.
brilliant way to do it.
Because
It
nothing
worked out
bad
well.
happened ever.
And where?
Real estate after 2002.
No,
Nothing.
it never will.
Yes.
Smooth sailing.
So it actually worked out because she asked him. So the person I worked with, I was good friends with her son, and she said, "You should come up and work with me." And he said, "There's no way in hell." She said, "Who would you recommend?" And he said, "Why don't you call Jake?" And she called me, and then eventually it just kind of turned into.
It made sense.
I just joined the team for a couple of years, and then I went off on my own. So it's
Okay, so hold on. You said a couple years. We just skipped a couple years.
Oh my gosh.
No, because how is your wife younger than you? Did she have more time left
She's
in
older than
college?
me.
So she was already graduated.
we graduated pretty much the same time. But
Okay.
she's like 6 months older.
Okay.
So not much.
Oh,
She's older. I always like to say she's older because it's like it's got this connotation around. Like,
Sarah's the older
Am I
one
the
too.
older woman, Will?
By 3 months.
Wow, you guys make that work, huh?
Yeah.
Good for you.
And the best part is Will had to repeat 7th grade.
I did.
So I'm actually a year older in school.
Yeah, you are, because you guys graduated in 98.
Yeah.
I think I was 99, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even remember.
Didn't matter.
No.
It obviously didn't matter.
No. All right, so you move back up here, and she decides to
How
stay
was
there.
the long distance thing?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
It actually worked out really well because I went all into real estate. You guys know how it is.
Yeah.
It's as many hours as you can put in.
Yep.
It's nights, it's weekends, it's all of that. So it actually worked out really well because I could work almost any time, and it didn't really matter.
So how did the conversation be approached that she should move up here?
On one knee.
Oh gosh, no.
Oh.
No. That's a great question. My best answer is it was more organic.
Okay.
Like, this is working. And she was like, I don't want to stay in Mankato my whole life. So she knew somebody. She worked for, I'm drawing a blank. Is it Clear Channel?
Yeah, Clear Channels like KWB and stuff. The music stuff.
She worked with some
Music,
advertising
radio,
stuff,
yep.
and so she had a family member that had an opportunity, so she took that.
Did she also go for marketing or something?
She was more in the arts side than the business side. Yep. So so she eventually moved up and was in Brooklyn Center essentially for a while, and then obviously all that just kind of moved towards us moving in together.
Where was your first date?
Oh, I love that type of question.
Yeah.
Who said I love you first?
We'll start with the date, for crying out loud. It was in Mankato.
I'm going to end up being in trouble by the end of this
Oh!
thing. Not from any outside, but from my wife, because I can't remember.
Do we need to phone a friend?
No,
yeah, we should.
We can have a phone a friend moment.
The first date was one night where we just happened to be at the same place, and we just.
Was it a party house?
It wasn't. But it was like a club.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not like a Minneapolis club. It's a Mankato club, which is a little bit different. But
blame it all on my roots. Showed up in boots.
So that was essentially where we kind of like reconnected, and
the eyes locked. And it was like, here we go.
She's like, so when are we gonna hang out? I was like, I don't know. I'm leaving in a week. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm moving home. Well, then we should hang out. Okay.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is literally history.
So when did you have?
When did you know?
No, stop.
Was it pretty quick?
Stop it.
No.
No.
Oh. See, I knew like the first day I met Will.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, in person. The first day we met in person.
Yep. The first day we met in person, I knew.
Yeah.
And I never believed that could ever happen.
You never met me.
And then there's Will.
Hey.
It only takes Will.
It only.
Only if anybody had a will in their life.
No, it's funny because I don't look at it. I don't look at it only because I didn't have the experience. I don't see how that works.
Yeah.
I can't process that.
Yeah.
Go through some interesting relationships and be 33, and then meet somebody that you can have a conversation with.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Actually.
Well, and actually,
33 years of experience of what not to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, for both of us.
And hopefully
Yes.
you learn more about yourself in that process to understand.
And
how
I
you
wouldn't
could-
change it because I always say a million things had to go right and a billion things had to go wrong for us to meet.
Yeah.
And I honestly think I knew the first night, but when I really knew was like our first, like where I didn't feel like I was mad at Will. And normally anytime I would get mad, it just never worked out. But Will was like, no, you have to tell me what is wrong. And like once you have that like safety place where you're like, oh, I can actually be honest and tell you stuff and you're not going to like twist it or turn it against me, like that's a different level of a relationship.
It's the maturity of a relationship.
Yeah. Now
Don't use the M word.
Now he's probably like, please don't talk to me.
Yeah. What'd I do this time?
No, really tell me. I want to know.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Let's conversate about this. Yeah. Coming up on 8 years.
Yeah. Okay. So
for
how
you
many
guys.
kids? 3 kids?
2 kids.
2 kids. And they're how old?
11 and 8.
11 and 8.
Yep.
Boy and a girl?
A boy is 11, girl is 8.
Awesome.
Yep.
But you didn't answer who said I love you first.
Oh, yeah. Who said I love you first?
I don't know.
Really?
I really don't.
Oh, I told Will I loved him first.
Yes, 1 weekend.
No, it was not 1 week in. It was
5
like
nights,
3
5
weeks
days.
in.
I don't think it was. It was
And
at,
then-
it was at Heidi Lindholm's birthday.
You were silent. You were silent Bob. And then a week later, you're like, I heard you and I love you too.
After you said it, did he say thank you?
No, he didn't say anything.
I ignored her.
We don't have to go into any more details. Stop.
You were incredibly intoxicated. I was not.
Anywho, liquid courage.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That helps.
Yeah.
It does. It moved the relationship
It
forward.
did.
It did.
Yeah.
What was that place called? Wild Bill's Saloon?
It was terrible.
With all the peanuts on the floor?
Up in Circle
Pines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know, Will.
Got in some
It's
fights. It was a good night.
Shocking.
That's how do you label a good night? I don't know. How violent was it?
Yeah. Threw a couple swings. Dodged a
Okay,
couple.
but I have questions, but it's going to speed up the timeline. So I don't know when you want.
How much?
Probably significantly.
Let's see what you got.
Okay, one of the things I love about you, Jake, is like the mindset work that you put out there. So like the things that you post on Facebook, all the things. How did you get there?
Pain.
Oh, okay.
Pain is a good motivator.
It requires
For a short-term time,
Well,
yeah.
it requires you to face it. I think.
Yeah.
You can only avoid it so long.
Yep.
I guess that's the way I look at it. So it's funny. I've had last January I made the commitment. I was like, okay, I'm gonna put out stuff every day of the week.
Yep.
Even if I feel like it, don't feel like it, doesn't really matter. I'm gonna do it. And it didn't matter up until probably almost November, December, before people actually started saying something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lesson in and of itself for me. It's like, wow, I did that for 11 months and nobody really said anything.
Well, I'm going to bring you back because you've actually been working. I attended one of, you used to do these things where you get together. You started doing those pre-COVID.
The Leadership Academy.
The Leadership Academy, yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, I was like, I would walk in, people like, isn't he with that other thing? Like, what's he doing? And I'm like, it's Jake. Like, this guy's smart. Like,
That was kind of the
yeah.
beginning of, I don't care who shows up.
Yeah.
Why would I limit this to one
Yeah.
brokerage or one label?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I mean-
honestly, Will, kudos to you because a lot of people wouldn't even go.
That's true.
I was also starting my journey.
I mean, a lot of people wouldn't
A lot
go.
of people would be afraid of the rumors.
What are they gonna think?
Or
Yeah.
What are
Yeah.
they assume I'm moving
Yeah.
to a different brokerage. Like, is this going to back my broker? All of that conversation.
Yeah.
It's just like, get
Yeah.
over it.
Get over it. 100%. 100%. But no, I was also starting like I thought I was a leader. Lord knows I wasn't. I was in charge, but I wasn't a leader by any means, right? So I started we started actually. I should say we. Me probably more than I. You've always kind of been that natural leader, but I started it and then kind of got into Jake stuff but yeah, that was 2020, 2019 or something like that when you started doing that.
Well, it was probably 2017.
Oh, I wasn't. I didn't go
2017.
that soon into it.
You went into it later.
Yes.
Yeah. You wanted to make sure it was legit before you did it.
He probably didn't know about
Well,
it.
no, in 2017,
That's probably true.
I was
yeah.
not ready for it.
Well, that's
Yeah.
a good message in and of itself. It's like sometimes you just, if you're not ready for it.
Yeah, that was a
it's
bunch
not
of
gonna-
bullshit.
it's not gonna
Like
work. Yeah.
blah 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 blah
Oh,
blah.
talking to me about how my mind works.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got shit to do.
Yeah.
We do got shit to do.
Yeah.
We got some hot shit. We got some big
And
shit
now,
to do.
now,
We got some big shit.
big shit.
Big shit.
And now it's like that's how we start our day is on mindset.
Yeah.
It's been a big shift.
On our 7:45 a.m. call every day with the team, did you work on your mindset? Did you work on your skill set? Did you do something to treat yourself? And then did you work on your CRM? Did you
love
do?
that.
Did you work with your sphere? So those are the 5 questions that people ask
Okay.
every day.
But
Love
okay,
that.
you said that you did this for 11 months and no one said anything. So does that mean
Are we
like
talking like on online on social media?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like-
basically putting out the messages on
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram,
Yep.
LinkedIn, all of that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it seems to, it's kind of like that. I'm not going to say everybody's paying attention, but you can feel when something is shifted.
Yes.
And it feels like it's shifted a little bit. And I don't know if it has to do with where the real estate market is, where people are starting to pay attention to, oh, this isn't what it used to be.
Right.
Yep.
And so maybe it becomes a little bit more scary or more painful that they now are open. Like you said, you weren't ready in 2017, but at a certain point you realized you needed to be ready to go to that next level. And I think a lot of people are in that space.
And I think too, like, I think one of our big shifts was when we did have pain, like when we experienced like heartache and pain in our life. it forced you to be like, well, this happened.
It's the acceptance of, okay, this is where we are.
Yeah. And then it's like, okay, this happened. And at that time, I felt like we couldn't share it with anybody because of the judgment and the shame and all the things. And finally, when we did open up on those painful moments, and for ours, it was around financial.
Yeah.
But when we were able to open up around those really painful, like terrible moments, all of a sudden we felt better.
And the amount of people that you guys helped by having that conversation.
And the amount of
That
people.
was mind blowing.
Yeah.
And it still is.
It still is.
Because now we're safe people to talk to if something's happened.
Yep.
And it doesn't necessarily mean financial stuff, but it like we have people that talk to us about mindset, divorce, finances, insecurities, life,
depression,
depression,
mental health,
suicide, kind of the gamut. Because we were willing to put ourselves out there that, hey, like we're flawed too.
Yep.
And
you're
let's
not.
go.
You're pretty perfect. I really do mean that. Like you are, you.
It's funny that that's your perception because that is not my perception.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I want some free tickets.
We got 4 free tickets to Universal.
Yeah, just by asking. Some guy I did not know.
Really?
No, literally did not know him. A friend tagged him in a friend shared my post with him, and he's like, "Yeah, I can get you some tickets." And I'm like, "Wait, are you serious?" And he's like, "Yeah, absolutely." And I'm like, wow, like that is so incredible. Like, he's like, "I don't even know you." And I'm like, "But he's like, my friend said you're a good dude, so here's 4 tickets for you."
That's
and I'm
amazing.
like, if you ever come to Minnesota, like we're going out to a steakhouse on me, like
we're gonna go
party. Hey,
You guys are taking it too far. You just say party with 2 R's. You don't sound like a pirate. Like, come on. You're ruining it for me. I'm never going to say it again because of what you guys
It sounds
just
better
did.
when we say when you party.
And then we'll start going into our pirate jokes. Like, where does a
Yeah.
pirate like to go for dinner?
You guys just ruined it.
Arby's.
Pretty much never going to say that again.
Okay, so what I was going to say, though, back to our point, though, is putting the stuff out there opens it up for so many other people to, like, set their shit down.
Yeah.
Or just face it, like acknowledge
Yeah.
it. 'Cause
Yeah.
They try to walk away from it before. It's people ask, like, where do you come up with this stuff? I was like, you think I'm writing it for you? I'm not writing it for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's for me.
Yeah.
That's a reminder for me to
Yeah.
process.
Oh, so
yeah.
so why did you, I remember you were tying this into like you run like is it Ironmans?
I did one.
You did
yes.
an Ironman.
Yes.
Why? Like what the hell is wrong with you?
That would be a whole nother episode. That I've always
Legit, I remember you were training for it, and that was one of the first leadership things that you went to, and you were talking about that, and I was like,
all the lessons that I learned
yeah, and
from
I'm
it,
like,
yeah.
all right, I'm definitely hanging out with this guy. So.
Yeah, there's I don't. It was put to me. It's interesting if you look at different periods of when I look at different periods of my life, it seems that other people have seen stuff in me before I've seen it in myself.
Yeah, right.
So, I went from getting into real estate, being on the team. Eventually, I was 25, and this was Remax Associates Plus before Results purchased them. But they asked me, would I be open to running the new Rogers Remax? I was like, I don't have any. Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah.
And people, like 3 people that I respect a lot, say, "Why are you not doing this?" It's like, I am not ready. It's like, you're never going to be. Go do it.
Yeah.
Because I went to the office and everybody was older than me that have been in business for 15, 20 years, highly productive agents that are still in the business. Who am I to go in there and give them direction? Like,
right.
But that's just the chatter that I had to get through. So and the Ironman was no different. It's like, you should do it. And I just didn't think. I said, okay.
That's all right. Wow.
And then I think there's something special to see how far you can push yourself. And for me, pushing myself physically leads to pushing myself in other areas of my life. So it's just kind of a conduit.
Yep.
Do I want to do it again? I'm going to say not right now, no.
Not right. That's a good answer. Not right now.
It could change. But the amount of time and effort it took to train.
Where was your Ironman?
It was Milwaukee.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even Hawaii.
See, I wasn't willing to do that.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm just going to go do it, and then I'm going to come home.
You came home the same day?
No, I came home the next day.
Oh, okay, I'm like I probably would have been like asking for a banana beer or something.
I didn't look at it as a vacation. I looked at it as I'm going to go accomplish this, and I'm really
And I'll be
excited.
back.
Gonna crush
I'm
it.
Excited
Yeah.
to go do this.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So, okay, from the outside in, right? From the outside in, it's like you are this successful guy. You own 5, well, I mean, I'm going to probably say the wrong words, but 5 amazing companies, or maybe you call it 1, but I see 5.
Yep.
And now you're working on all this mindset work. So, like, sometimes, like, from the outside in, like, people might think, oh, Jake, he's got it
just
made.
got it together. Like, he's never had a tough day in his life. That
Yeah.
son of a biscuit, silver spoon in his mouth, right?
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, you guys know this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it always looks different from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
What I encourage, and it's partially why I write what I write, is can we just be honest?
Yeah.
Because I think it's irresponsible to put a message out there like everything is great just because you make all this money. Or
Yep.
like if you sell this many houses, you're successful. It's like I know a lot of people that make a lot of money that are completely miserable.
Yeah.
That's not success to me at all. It's the opposite of it. Success is being able to wake up happy and excited about what you're about going to do.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're making $20 or $2 million. If you're happy, don't get it twisted, because you start chasing something that wasn't meant for you.
And a lot of people chase the dollar.
They think it's going to
Yes,
fix
they
it.
think it's gonna. If you're a miserable piece of shit with $5, you're gonna be a miserable piece of shit with $5 million.
You're probably going to be more so because you're going to be afraid of losing it.
Yeah.
So
And, you know, I think 3
Right.
years ago, I think it was like 3 years ago, we really had to sit down and redefine what success looked like.
Yep.
Because for so long it was, well, when we get to this GCI,
everything's gonna be
everything's
perfect.
going to be great.
Yeah.
When we get to this whatever, it's all the things are going to be fixed.
Yep.
Guess what? The ball keeps moving down the field.
If that's how you define it.
And so then it was
Yeah.
like, oh, what do we want to do? Like, what does bring us joy? What does bring us success? Where do we lose track of time? You know, because those are the things that we actually want to do.
I love that. Yep. That makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense to me.
And, you know, when I was, my previous careers, like we talked a little bit that I was a teacher and then I went into retail management. And that's where a lot of my, between teaching and, well, actually, I feel like I've been a leader since my earlier memories.
In your own household, legitimately, yeah.
I mean, I've been
Yeah.
a leader since 4th grade.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I remember, like, when I was teaching, I would always look at my watch. And I knew what day it was. And I knew how far away the weekend was. And I knew all the things. And I knew how to, like, kind of manipulate my vacation so it would be longer. Or, you know, whatever that looked like. Same with Target and JCPenney when I worked in store management there. And it's like with real estate, it is not even real estate. With what we are able to do now,
Yep.
because we do more than sell houses. And so now it's like I don't even wear a watch because I don't feel like, yes, I need one to keep myself on time.
Of course.
But I'm not looking at the time thinking when's the day over or when do I get to go home.
Yep.
It's like, holy crap, today I'm like, wow, it's already
Thursday.
That's
February 2nd
that's
or
a
something.
successful
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
when you're like, whoa, a week just went by because I
Totally
know
agree
what
with
it's
that.
like to watch the clock, and I won't choose that life.
It's tough. It's just trying to pass time quicker.
Yeah.
Which it goes the same speed all the time.
Yeah, although I really
Time's
do.
a made-up construct.
Okay.
We're getting really
Yeah,
philosophical
yeah.
now.
Let's talk about some geography.
Or geometry. I mean, I mean, what?
Okay, so question though, when you look back at your life, when did you realize that you were a leader?
I still question it.
Really?
Yeah. And I know I lead. I know I have a title that is put on me. But I think it's something you earn every single day. I don't think once you are one, you are one.
Correct.
I think you have to show up that way every single day. And maybe it's just it's a great question. I don't know if there's any definitive moment. It's earning it
Yeah,
at every opportunity.
It's definitely there's nothing on a finish line to being a leader.
No.
Like, I mean,
No.
look at
Because
John.
once again,
Yeah,
guess what moves?
yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to like the law
There
of
is
the
no
lid.
leadership finish line.
No.
Like, oh, I made it.
It's an evolution of who you are as an individual to stay to be out front to help pull people ahead.
But but you said you question it daily. Like why?
There's humility is a big thing for me. And I have a very hard time digesting people that call themselves leaders but don't put people first. And that's a problem for me. So it's a check for me to make sure that I'm not putting myself above anybody else.
Okay. When you say you question yourself daily, it's not a self-doubt thing?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't call it a doubt thing.
Okay.
I mean, there are moments of like, what am I doing?
Right. Oh, yeah.
There are those moments.
Understand that, yep.
Which I think that's healthy, because as soon as you think you arrive, your learning is over.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's a problem.
Yep.
But it's always maybe it's a matter of more earning it than it is about questioning my ability to do it.
Yeah.
I know I can do it.
Yeah.
But I still have it's one of those. This lands very, very firmly. I wrote one time, it's like the more I learn, the more you realize what you don't know.
God, it's annoying.
It's like, do I want to learn more? Because that's just going to expose me to more things that I don't understand. But when you think you know everything, you don't think there's anything else to learn, which is also a very bad place.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather be annoyed and realize there's so much more to learn than think I know it all.
100%.
I think even let's just put real estate out there for a second. Like if we
every
could go
damn day.
back to like year 1 or year 2 for you, and then me, because that's kind of when I joined.
I'd have about $30 more. I'd have a lot more money.
You
No,
might,
but-
you
but
might
just-
be up by $50 here.
I know.
Really? We might
But
be getting there.
It's like one of those things where it's like your ego can take over on so much. And it's like once you can just kind of set that down and just be like feeling more exposed in a way, like you're going to learn stuff and you just have to be ready to like take it on. And there is no finish line when it comes to leadership.
You're going to learn stuff, and you're also going to get judged.
Yeah.
So as soon as you can let go of the judgment of other people, the reality is that judgment's coming from people that are in pain.
Yeah.
Or the people that aren't, that are insecure,
Yeah.
or even if they're doing big things from the outside.
Yep.
We all got our spots.
Yeah.
And if you want to hide from it, I hope you're happy.
Yeah.
I don't wish you ill will, but
Right.
I do hope that you find the peace that I think is evading you.
Yeah. So now, when did it become your plan to purchase, like to be the owner of these 5 offices?
This is going to be a super annoying answer. I've learned.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't remember.
it's one of those things where, and I think honestly, watching what you guys do, I don't think we're that different. I'm going to go work my tail off, and I'm going to watch where the flow brings me, because I can have a plan, but I'm not committed to that plan.
Yep.
If it's telling me to go another direction, it's going to go another direction. So when I became a team leader I started up at the Elk River office and then moved to the Minneapolis office. I was provided an opportunity at that point because of the performance that we as a team built. So that was the initial part. And then things just continued to evolve, where I said I was done being a team leader. I was super tired. I was exhausted. It wasn't fitting my life at that point in time. So when I moved into a general manager role, that opportunity opened up more. And I'm not the sole owner of all of these, just for for clarity. There's a portion in each one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just kind of evolved. I listened to a book, Michael Singer. I've listened to it probably 6-7 times, called The Surrender Experiment. And essentially what it is it's, yes, have goals, work hard, do your best at everything that you're doing in the moment, and also listen to where life is telling you to go. And one of the things in that book that keeps ringing in my head is, what I think is the right decision. Is it based on my comfort, or is it based on the right thing to do for other people? And where I've gotten in is I'm taking steps recently that are super scary for me, but all the directions are pointing me to do it because it's helping. So rather than looking at it from a selfish perspective, I look at it from a very, very, what's my obligation to serve? It's out there a little bit, but I'm here for a reason.
We are here for the out there stuff.
Oh, yeah, there's woo-woo hippie shit.
I think we're all here for a reason.
Yeah.
And we owe it for the opportunity to go step into it and not avoid it because we're afraid.
Yep.
And so there's fear in some of the things that I've taken on, just all, full disclosure, like it's scary.
Well, your shirt says it the best. Be the buffalo, charge the storm.
There's no other way. The more I avoid it, the more anxiety shows up. So I'm
Yep.
going to run right at the problems.
Yep.
And sometimes I'm going to screw it up, but it's going to be better than not hitting it anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just this weird thing where if you're aware enough, you'll know the next decision to make as long as you don't put your preference all over it. Like as soon as you start putting your preferences on everything, it's really hard to make decisions.
Yep.
But as soon as you start to listen and understand your values, you should be able to follow through on a decision that it may not be it may be scary, but it's not the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
Don't confuse scary with wrong.
Yep. And don't let fear stop you.
A lot of times people take counsel of their fears.
Fear has killed more dreams than failure ever will.
That's 100% accurate.
When I was a teacher, I gave my notice in February of 2008.
Really?
Genius
That's
move.
brave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the time, I think some people really thought I was crazy as
I'm
a
sure
10-year
most
teacher. Like, what in the heck? Are you paying attention
The
to
ones
the
that
news?
thought you were crazy are also the ones that envied you. Like,
And
I wish I had
yeah.
the courage to do that.
And I've heard that, actually.
Yeah.
I actually ran into a colleague recently. And she
Yep.
was like, you are so lucky that you did that.
You got out.
You got out.
It's not lucky.
And I'm like,
You made the decision.
I just went for it. I was watching my watch, and I don't want to live a life where I'm ever watching my watch like that.
Yeah.
And I think, like, it's interesting because I don't know, when I think back to those times, it just I knew. When you can kind of quiet the chatter, like,
You're just
people,
following what you know to be accurate.
people know, and sometimes we think, well, how am I going to end up at there? And it's like, no, I'm not worried about there. I'm just worried about, like, the next step.
Yep.
Because the next step and the next step, and it's even just like how Will and I met. It's like you just know. And I think sometimes you just have to figure out how to quiet your mind and just listen to the things that you know to be true.
Yeah.
Like for me, I get a lot of things coming into me on like what we need to do next when I'm on my Peloton.
Yep. I totally. Well, you go back to Iron Man. You know how many books I listened to?
Can't
Holy
even imagine.
I was so sick of music at that time. I was
Yeah.
like, I can't listen to anything else. I need to listen to something that. But it was long runs, long bike rides.
Yep.
2 to 3 hours at a time. You're just like, okay, I got to find something to listen to.
All right. I think we're in a great spot to wrap it up
Yeah.
because we're about that hour mark. Jake, if somebody wanted to consume your content, how would they find you?
You can Jake Luehrs. You can find me on.
How do you spell your last name?
Luehrs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is on Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram. Yeah, that's same for both.
Are you on TikTok yet?
I am. I don't actively use
Oh,
it.
come on, dude. It's the jam.
I got this weird thing in my head with regards to the data. I got to get over it. But
Like, are you kidding me? Come on. Like, you telling me Facebook and Insta? Like, they're
I know.
not, yeah.
I'm not saying it was logical. I'm just saying it's real for
Yeah.
me. So
Yeah. All right. Awesome, man. Well, we finish every podcast with asking the same question. What are your top 5 favorite restaurants? And they don't have to
This
be
is going to be fun.
and they don't have to be in order. And they don't have to be like, we have one gentleman who always says Olive Garden because he goes there with his mom, so it's very nostalgic. He's not like, oh, I
Sure.
love the soup,
That makes-
breadsticks, right? But
Yep.
it's nostalgic.
that makes sense.
It doesn't have to exist anymore. So, number 5.
I would have to say in Red Lodge there's a Mexican restaurant in Bogart's.
Where's
in
Red Lodge?
Red Lodge, Montana is
Okay.
like the south central part of the state. So we go there every year, and they got great Mexican food.
All right. What's your order?
They have a beef enchilada with a white cheese.
Oh, sign me up.
Queso? Like the melted stuff?
It's not queso.
Oh, so it's
but
the Mexican street cheese type thingy. Is it like
it's a
soft and crumbly?
Nope, it's melted, but it's not queso.
Oh.
They might just not have all the peppers and stuff.
Yeah.
I need you to call them now and figure out what that is.
Well,
DoorDash.
You could probably look it up online. I don't
Yeah.
need to call them.
Number.
No one answers the phone anymore, Will.
Yeah, I do. No, I don't. Number 4. That's why you have to Venmo me at MNBIGGWILL.
You can get one more before we're done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be the part of the intro.
That's what the title of it.
Yeah.
This is Jake's podcast, but
I'm not
Number
even gonna.
4.
I'm not even gonna say it's. I don't think it's a current restaurant anymore. But my wife and I, when we were younger, we would go to Mufaletta's.
Oh yeah.
and it was kind of
St.
like
Paul.
it was St. Paul. Yeah, it was.
Ish.
It wasn't in St.
Yeah.
Paul, but it was one of those places where we didn't have a lot of money at that time, so it was a special. Kind of like
treat, it was like nostalgia treat. Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
That's a great one.
All right, number 3.
Fleming's in Austin, Texas. Fleming's Steakhouse.
Why do I know that name? Are they on TikTok? They might be. What's your cut of steak?
It used to be ribeye, now it's filet.
Okay.
That flay's the only way.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing better than a great ribeye.
But I would actually put ribeye third now, and New York, a good New York.
Get out.
Yep.
No.
A good clean cut
Yes.
is money.
And how do you like your steak?
Just above medium rare to medium.
Medium rare.
We can still be friends.
Well, I'll say the filet can be medium rare.
Mm-hmm.
The others, I prefer a little bit more done. You don't have to agree with me.
Yeah, but
just
you're
saying
wrong.
My preference.
But you're wrong. You're wrong.
After the conversation we just had, you're going to. You're
100%. Remember, kids, lie your asses off.
I'm not lying.
And learn
Will's
geometry.
wrong. Or geography.
Or geography.
Yeah. Good golly, Miss Molly.
All right.
Number 2.
Oh, you guys are digging deep into the well. I'm gonna go off script and say, honestly, my wife's pho.
Oh, get out.
Is I would never order pho at a restaurant.
When are we coming over for dinner?
Yeah.
Let's name the date and we can do that.
Tonight. Can we go tonight? I'm serious. Pho is when we were down in Loring Park. Lotus is right behind us there, and that's the best in the city as far as I'm concerned.
Not Maple Groves.
Not the Maple Grove one. I would eat there 3 or 4 times a week. Just getting the pho.
So when we moved up here,
we tried. Disappointment.
It's not the same.
No, they brought and they tried to trick me once. They're like, "Oh, we got you pho from the Lotus," and I'm like, "Oh, who drove to Loring Park?" And they're like, "Tyler did, yay!" And I took one bite, and I'm like, "This is not from Loring Park." They're like, "How the hell did you know?" It's not the same. It's not the same.
My mother-in-law she's from Vietnam, and so she's brought just delicious. Like she's a phenomenal cook. So now Steph has taken that on, and my son loves it just as much as I do.
Yes, please.
So you can make it however.
Does she give lessons?
It's one of those things where if you ask for lessons, she's just going to be like, put a little bit of that, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And
it's an art. You said she's artsy. It's an art.
Yeah. She's very. She's got it. She's got it figured out. For her, she makes it look very easy. I am a hot mess with all the stuff that if you try putting it together, it's not going to work.
I just be like, here's $100. Give me a gallon of your broth.
Yes. Well, that's the most important.
The broth.
Thing. Everything else you can.
Everything else
make
is fine.
However you want
the
to
shoots,
make it.
the noodles, the basil, like the jalapenos, the meat.
beef.
I can slice the meat.
Yep.
I'll give you $100. Give me a gallon of the broth.
Get her
go.
Venmo. Get her Venmo.
What's her Venmo? MNBIGGWILL.
Well,
so
here,
I can
I'll start promoting that. So whatever you raise today, we'll use that to purchase your pho.
Oh, careful.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have never been more serious in my life. America.
Dave, edit this one really fast.
Do not edit shit out of this part.
I mean, like
the rest of the pod.
Produce it.
Produce it. Yeah, this needs to go out on Monday.
Yeah.
If this doesn't, what's Monday's date?
The 6th.
Is that our anniversary?
Oh my God, Will.
This needs to go out February 6th so I can have money to. Do you have reservations for us?
Not yet.
Oh, good.
Or she does, and she just doesn't want to talk about
we
it.
need to have pho.
No, we've actually learned that if I have Will plan a special event like a wedding anniversary or birthday or Valentine's Day,
bad idea.
he won't do anything because he's going to be a rebel and be like, holidays are dumb. So
I'm gonna do it when it's a surprise.
Yes.
And not
Yeah.
expected.
So I like tradition, so I like to.
Yeah.
I got stuff planned out.
All right.
America.
America.
Okay, number.
Yeah. number 1.
Should I just say McDonald's to move
No.
on? That's like one of those guilty things.
Well,
that
everybody,
you do.
Jake's a 4 out of 5.
Yeah. Rude.
Hey, top 80%. I'll take it.
All right.
How many times a week do you eat pho?
It's actually gotten less because of it's time consuming. It's a
kids.
lot of work for
Yeah.
her.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work for her. Not just to make it, but the cleanup and all of that. So we used to have Fridays.
Oh.
So every Friday we had it, and then even we were like, nah, we don't need it we don't need it this Friday. We can have something else. But it's probably 2 or 3 times a month, probably.
Oh, see, Friends Pho Friday, I would be there every Friday.
I think there would be quite a few people that have
Yeah.
tried it that would come and be like,
I will beat
they
the
just-
shit
We're all
out
just
all
going to
of
be
them.
outside the door with like our like big bowl.
May I have more
got
soup, please?
Big bowl, your
Yeah.
spoon hanging off the
Yeah.
side. Yeah, you're in good shape.
Yeah, we got it. We
This
got
is
it. we
like
got it.
2023 version of what's that one movie that you love? Newsies.
Yeah.
You know when they're like,
No, that's not in the movie. You're thinking of Oliver Twist. May I
That's
have
what
more
I'm-
gruel, please?
yeah,
Newsies is not the same movie as Oliver Twist.
same era.
Not
Just-
even close.
You just show BYOB, bring your own bowl.
Yeah, we have them. We have pho bowls here. Yeah.
Here you do?
Here.
Yeah, and at home, absolutely.
And spoons and chopsticks
Oh, yeah.
because you cannot have
Just because
pho.
you guys also have your call nights on Wednesdays, so you need to have
Yeah.
the proper.
Hey, we
Well,
have some
we've-
soup in the crock pot if you're hungry, by the
We've
way.
actually had it delivered enough times where they don't bring the pho bowls.
Yeah.
because they know already.
No,
Well, so
so Will just had to go out and order
it
bowls.
took one time where they didn't
I thought
bring
they
the
were doing
bowls.
it on purpose. Got
One
it.
time they didn't bring them, so now we can just tell them no bowls.
Got
But
it.
Because then we just.
yep.
That makes sense.
All right. Well,
This was enjoyable.
it's been real. It's been fun.
been fun.
kind of been real fun, actually.
We'll
All
keep
right.
you around.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I
All right.
appreciate the invite and the conversation. It was fun.
Thanks for coming, brother. Appreciate it. And as always, we out. Deuces.